Hi Year 2 designers, here we are working on our lanterns again. So yesterday we drew out our lanterns and today I'm going to remind you what to do next. So this was my fold lantern which I decorated using felt pens because we're going to be doing the oiling and you can't use any other materials for the fold lantern. Once you've done your colouring, we're going to do a bit of cutting out to get the shape. And it's just little bits snipping out to make the shape. There we go, bit around the ear. Now this is important, we need this fold to stay intact. So we're going to just cut out a bit there, but make sure we don't go all the way around because we need that fold to stay in place. And you see there, I'm leaving the tail. I'm not cutting along the edge there, so I've got my fold. Even though I've got some little holes there, it's still joined together. That's really important. And once we've done that, we can do a bit more cutting out and shaping. Now I'm going to do some little holes in this one. We did that on the owl, do you remember, to have the light shining through? You can also do it on the fold lantern. So you get your piece of white tack underneath and then you just poke through some little holes using a skewer or a cocktail stick. You can do this if you want to or not. It's entirely up to you. It's your design. I just thought it would be fun to show you. You can use that technique as well. Okay, so I've got a few dots around the eyes. The next thing we need to do is we're going to need to cover it in oil. So we need a bowl. Now your bowl's leaked, so I've got you big tin cans this time. Won't leak then. Haha. I haven't got a big tin can at home, so I'm using this bowl here, and I put in a little bit of oil, and I'm going to start oiling, dipping in some towel roll. And dip it in, and it is greasy, but if it gets on your hands, just rub it in. It's good moisturiser, it's called, for your hands. So we do circular motions, it's called, going round and round, rubbing in our oil into our cardboard, making sure it soaks right in. And we're going to do this on both sides. And you'll see in a moment we flip it over, and it's really important that you flip it over because you can see any white bits still when you turn it over, which means it's not got quite as much oil soaking into it. Oh, I'm running out of oil, so I'm going to put a bit more into my pot into a moment. Now, that's a good idea, not to squirt out too much oil at once. Just use little bits at a time. Yeah, that's definitely going to need a bit more oil in. But it means we're not wasting it. If we pour it all out, we can't pour it back in. So just another little squirt there of the oil, and we can work it in. Right, let's speed this up because we're going to move on to doing our side pieces. Now, if you remember, we just used pieces of card rectangles, but I thought this is a fancy idea. We can make our joining supports an interesting shape. So I drew grass because tigers like to hide in the grass. So you can do this if you want to. And remember, we staple on our side supports there on one side, and then we fold it over, and there is our finished little light. So if you were doing a sea creature, perhaps you draw bits of sea as your side pieces, or just have them plain. That's fine. Okay, so yesterday we drew out our shape of our tube lantern and we can colour it in. And remember, we don't have to use felt tips for this. I'm going to use crayons, but you could actually use paints if you wanted to, or collage, or colour pencils. It can be felt tip pens, but I wanted to make this a bit different. I'm not going to colour in the eyes because I'm going to cut those out, and I'm just going to start colouring in. Now, if you can see, I'm not trying to make it lovely and smooth because a tiger's got fur, so I want it to be quite furry looking. There's all my black lines, and I'm getting in some orange, but you'll notice that I'm going to do two different shades. Look, I've used two different oranges because I think that looks really nice. So the next thing to do is cut out those eyes. We cut them out by spiking the ends with the cocktail sticks to make a hole for our scissors, and then we cut them out and we're ready to stick on our cellophane. You could use tissue paper if you don't want to use cellophane. And once you've stuck those on, you draw your pupils and you begin doing some lovely dot decorations to let the light come through. So I'm just following the lines and patterns on my tiger. You can think how you want to do this on your animal. So you just remember you have your piece of white tack underneath, which you keep moving, or you can keep moving your piece of cardboard, and then you keep dotting with your cocktail stick or skewer, getting in all those lovely dots. Once you've done this, you cut him out. Cut out your creature. And we'll try and be gentle as we're doing this. Can you notice how I keep moving my piece of cardboard around? It helps to change the direction of the cardboard and not just change the way you put your scissors. Change the direction of the card as well. There we go, all nicely cut out. I'm just going around this tail carefully. We don't want any white card showing, don't need any of that. Now you can see all my lovely holes there. You can see that on the background. So if you remember the tube, let's just clear up. We're just going to wrap it round and staple it, but stop. If you've got something like a tail sticking up, it's a really good idea to colour the inside as well. This will make it look really good when you put it together, because otherwise, because it's in a tube shape, it will be white, my tail, and it's nice for it to be the tiger colours. So I'm doing exactly the same as I did on the front. I've got 2 different colours of the crayon, and I'm trying to make it look furry. Doesn't have to be all smooth because I like the texture of the fur. Just finish doing my stripes, my tiger stripes. And there we go. So that means when we wrap it round, can you see my lovely tail is beautifully coloured on both sides so I can see it well. And we just staple that shut and that's it. Easy peasy tubes. Lovely. That's ready for us to put our nightlight in. We've got our 2 there, the fold and the tube. I'm really looking forward to seeing your animals. I shall hopefully see some beautiful pictures if I can't come in myself. Bye.